What's going on, guys? Welcome back as always. So today we're going to be messing with the Palmetto State Armory GF3 AK. So a few notes on this one. This particular gun is one of their blem versions, and I'll tell you up front, if you want a good AK at a reduced price, grab one of the blem ones. Don't be afraid. These guns are workhorses. They're made to be used, right? The blems are usually some kind of cosmetic issue somewhere, a scratch or a discoloration. That should be irrelevant to you as an armed prepared citizen, okay? The gun comes with, of course, this particular one, this Mo version, Magpul handguards, Magpul grip, and a Magpul Mo stock. Now, I have swapped the stock out for a Rifle Dynamics AR buffer tube adapter and an AR stock on it. It's not to try to turn it into an AR, it's just because I like having the ability to adjust the length of pull on the stock. That's it. But again, it comes with the other Magpul furniture out of the box if you get the blem Mo version. It also comes with a standard slant brake. I've changed out the slant brake to a standard A1 flash suppressor just because I'm not shooting at full auto, so the slant brake's kind of useless to me. I would rather have the flash suppression of the A2. The only blem that I can find on the entire gun is the handguard retainer cap, the front one, where the notches cut across the barrel that the pin locks into to hold it in place was cut at just a little bit of an angle. So the U part of the handguard cap doesn't line up completely square. It's canted ever so slightly. However, that doesn't affect the handguard at all. The handguard still fits exactly like it's supposed to, perfectly square, everything's locked up, no issues with the handguard at all. So to save a little bit of money, I'll take that all day long. Everything else on it is pretty much standard 7.62x39 AKM type rifle. So I've already put a couple of rounds through this one, and as I've experienced with other rifles, I want to show you guys something else. Hold on a second, let me grab my ears. Alright, so now that I got my ears on, I have not zeroed this gun yet. I've taken it out of the box, ran some rounds to it to function test it, and it's functioned fine through that. We're going to zero it out here today, but before I zero it, I'm at 50 yards, and I've got my steel, of course, downrange that I always have. I want you guys to check this out. It helps when you actually charge the gun, makes a difference. She's ringing steel out of the box at 50 yards. So now it's time to put it on paper. We'll see what kind of groups it can get and get her zeroed, and we'll go from there. So stand by. All right, guys, so we're at 50 yards. Gonna put it on paper, see what kind of groups we get, and go from there. Now again, as I always remind you guys, I'm gonna be shooting this with iron sights. My eyesight's not what it used to be. Got a fairly strong astigmatism in my right eye, which tends to screw with me with iron sights a little bit. So keep all that in mind, and let's see what she does. All right, let's go check that out, see what it looks like. All right, guys, as I always tell you, again, repeating, keep in mind my eyesight and various natural factors. We're not shooting under a nice covered bench and a premier thing. We're kind of out in the real world here a little bit. But there is my group. Not a bad one at all, considering that's a little bit high and just a smidge left. So we'll go make a few adjustments to that, see if we can get her down there in the center a little more and go from there. So stand by, let me adjust it, see what happens. All right, guys, got her zeroed and dialed in. Took a little finagling. For some reason I kept wanting to string rounds, but I'm 99.9% sure that was all me. But finally got settled down, got everything where I want it, and again, I'm going to show you the zeroed group. Keep in mind my eyesight, not yours, and let's take a look. So there's our final group at 50 yards. Again, that's using the Red Army standard 124 grain full metal jacket boat tail. I will fully accept that one as me yanking the trigger. But the rest of those, I'm going to call those good, and we're going to not touch the sights any further. Alright guys, so we know at 50 she'll ring still all day long. So let's take it back to 100, see what it does at 100. Alright guys, so we're back at 100. You all know my criteria for a gun, what I consider to be acceptable for the armed prepared citizen. I'm looking for men and a man. It does not have to shoot half MOA groups, etc. If I can hit a man-sized target with it at 50, 100, 200 yards, I'll take that. That's acceptable for me for a fighting rifle for defensive use of the armed prepared citizen. Now again, my steel is like 3/4 size steel, so it's not a full-size steel target, but it's really close. We're at 100 yards. I'm just going to do this offhand, and again, taking into account my eyesight, like I always say. And I hate to sound like a broken record on that, but that's important to take note because everybody's eyesight's different. I could take a gun with my bad astigmatism and show you horrible accuracy with it and blame it on the gun when it could easily be me. Somebody with better eyesight could do a lot better. That's something that doesn't get mentioned enough on YouTube, so keep that in mind when you're watching videos. So anyway, offhand at 100, see what we can do with the old iron sights. That was me. Alright, so as you can see, offhand at 100, it's easy minute a man. We can shoot that all day long. Let's go back up and put a few more through it back closer up. Alright guys, I've put a few more rounds through this. Again, I've used both the Magpul mags and my US Palm mags. They've all worked great. I didn't bring any of my other mags out here today just because I wanted to get this zeroed and kind of get started running with it some more. I'll get the other mags and put rounds through it at a later date. So I think you can see, work with me here, earmuffs, geez. All right, I think you can see that the Palmetto State gun is plenty capable of running for the armed prepared citizen. My sights are good and aligned. It's just a hair over to the left on the front sight post and a little bit high. I'd like to see it a little bit lower, but it's definitely well below the top of the front ears. So I'll take that. Not an issue. It's zeroed and it's hitting. That's what counts. What else about this gun? Again, I've got a couple hundred rounds through it, between 200 and 300. I lose count because I'm trying to divvy it up amongst other guns. I'm not going to do torture test on this. If you want to see a torture test, Rob Skitt, AK-47 74 Operators Union. He has put this through his 5,000 round test. It came out fine. Passed it. Not a problem. I'm not torturing guns. I don't have the money, nor the ammo, nor the time. And there's no point in me doing it because it's already been done. So, that part of it you can see on his channel. There are other folks that have put thousands of rounds through these with no problem. I'm just giving you my evaluation based on my experience and how I'm using it. And I'm using it as an actual weapon I'm going to train with and practice with and work with. So again, as I do with all my guns, I'm going to be running more rounds through this as we practice out here. I'm going to start letting some friends run some rounds through it. I'll probably start rotating it through in some classes, over the course of the next year. I really like it. It's very smooth shooting, especially with just a couple hundred rounds through it. It's smoothed out really nicely. It wasn't bad to begin with, but as with everything, the more you shoot it, the smoother it's going to get. What else about it? Sights are all aligned. There's no cant issues with the sights. That's all lined up good. The regular version of these, I think it's one of the best options, right up there with a couple of others, such as the Century Arms Visca. I think both of these guns are great options for the armed prepared citizen. This one is priced comparably right there at it, even for the non-blim version. The blim version, you can save a little bit of money and get a fully functional, capable gun with money for extra mags or whatever. I mean, now that these are zeroed and have proven themselves functional, I will officially add them to the battery. And you guys know what that means. They have to put on their clothing so that they're no longer black. And, because the liberals and SOCOMs hate evil black rifles. So we're going to make this so it's not so evil by making it not black. Follow the link down in the description box over to the blog page. I have a link in the blog page to these. If you want to support the channel, click on that link. If you don't want to support the channel, just go to Palmetto State Armory's website and check these out. Again, this is the Mo Blim version. They've got plenty of non-blim versions with a lot of different options that you can get as far as the furniture, et cetera, et cetera. So, as with all my Palmetto State Armory stuff, this one is right up there in the top. And I wanted to put some rounds through it to close the video out, but I've got an empty magazine. And I got carried away shooting because it's so nice to shoot. Emptied all my ammo, and now I don't feel like walking back to the truck to get more ammo and have you guys hanging. So, you're just going to have to take my word for it for what I've already showed you. Palmetto State Armory, GF3 AK. Come on guys, armed prepared citizen, it's right up there with it. Let me show you one little cool touch, and I want to give huge props to Palmetto State for this, okay? It's nothing more than symbolic, but I like the fact that they're willing to do it. Not a lot of manufacturers are. You'll notice that right now this is in the fire position. I hope you can see this on camera. All right, so we're in the fire position, right? There's your safe. But do you see that extra detent and marking right there? That is where your normal full auto setting would be, right? You've got an actual detent and markings for the full auto setting. Now, the gun doesn't fire full auto. It is a semi-auto only gun. But the fact that they're willing to put that there just to do that little touch, I really like. And here's what's even cooler. All the way down a fire, we're going to go up to the full auto setting, and you can fire it on the full auto setting. Now it's only semi-auto again, but just the fact that you can do that, I think that just makes the SOCOM's heads explode. And huge props to Palmetto State Armory for throwing that on there and putting that on their guns. So, in closing, gun runs great. The Rifle Dynamics AR stock adapter, man, this thing is solid. Love it. It's a solid way to go if you want to put an adjustable length stock on your gun. There you go, guys. Again, Facebook page or blog page, I'll have links to these. You can go check them out there. As always, take care, stay safe, get prepared, go get trained. Then after you take good training, go home and practice it. After you've practiced it, go get some more training, then practice some more. There's a key in there in that pattern that if you're a good detective, you can pick up on. Stay safe, guys. Get after it. The world is becoming a more and more precarious place by the day. Be that armed, prepared citizen. Take care, and I'll see you later.